Today we are going to speak with Bridget Clark and teach her about vacuum tubes. Bridget, what do you know about vacuum tubes?
Because they can blow and they look like little heads.
Little heads. Well, they're like little like light bulbs. Do you know anything about them? Can I show you what they look like and what they were used for?
Yeah.
Okay, this is part of school here. Here we go. This is an amplifier right here. And in the back of the amplifier there are vacuum tubes. This big one here is a power tube, and the little ones there are preamp tubes. A lot of times they have numbers attached to them. A lot of the preamp tubes are... This one is a typical preamp tube number, 12AX7. This is a power tubes. Usually they begin with the number 6. This is a 6V6 GT. They have different names and different numbers. This one here is a 6X4 right there. So this is an amplifier, and I'll show you that this is from... This particular amplifier is from the early 60s. This is a guitar amplifier. It's a Dan Electro guitar amplifier. It's a D10. And they used the vacuum tubes in a lot of things. This is an old radio from the 40s. This also has vacuum tubes in it. And it does still work. I think the tubes have been replaced at least once. But the tubes need to be replaced occasionally. So they didn't last too long. I know they had them in radios and TVs and the like. Right here is an old vacuum tube radio. That top right there, that's a realistic one, which is Radio Shack. That's have tubes in it. And on the bottom is a pilot amp, and those are both mono amplifiers. And let me show you what it's like when you put on a piece of equipment that's tubes. It doesn't go on right away. It takes a while for the tubes to warm up. Okay, I'm turning this on. Turning the amp and the tuner on. Now, I just turned it on, and here we are, we're waiting. This is what we did when we would want to watch TV when I was your age. We had a big giant TV, and here's a picture of it. And what we did is we turned it on, and we waited. We actually had to wait for things.
Can I see it? Can I see the picture?
See? Back in my day, we had to wait for things, but now
Can I see a picture
everything is all very instant, isn't it? You want everything right now. So we're still waiting for the radio to turn on. Dum-de-dum, we're waiting for the tubes in the receiver and in the amp to turn on, and there it is.
Also known as Glenn Miller, Reed was not Jewish. And Laura
well, it's not very good news.
Meanwhile, prosecutors in Kansas are charging Fraser Glenn Cross.
Okay, well, we don't want to hear that. But the tubes warmed up finally, and they you could hear what was coming out of there. After the vacuum, do you know why they call them vacuum tubes?
No.
Because are they made out of vacuum cleaners? No. They are called vacuum tubes because they were like a light bulb. They operated in a vacuum, which means there's no air in them. And I'll show you pictures of what they look like when they're nice and glowing and hot. And
random mark.
In 1947, and this is the boring school part, in 1947 at Bell Laboratories, somebody invented the transistor.
Wow.
The transistor was a small, black, silicon-based thing that made it possible to eliminate the tubes, which made everything smaller. And the reason why they did that is mostly for military use. But once again, we all benefited from that.
I like that.
Yeah. Let's go look at transistor radio, which is one of the benefits of the transistor, which is why they call it a transistor radio. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'll find it. These are a couple of transistor radios. This one right here is vintage. I got that from my step-grandfather. He gave me that. This one is a repro. Radio Shack in about 25 years ago put them out. It's kind of a retro thing. I bought that. This one is also very old. But transistor radios were a big deal. Let's see.
Can I say something cool? I just practiced it by jumping just today.
Woohoo!
No fun.
Can you say tubes?
Tubes.